The alarm blared through the small ship. Tae-sung dropped his wrench and ran to the bridge. His cousin Da-eun stood at the controls, staring at the screen with bright eyes. "What is it?" Tae-sung asked, wiping grease from his hands. "A distress beacon," Da-eun said. "And not just any beacon. It's Velian." Hyunwoo, their navigator, looked up from his station. His face was pale. "Captain, we should ignore it. The Velians don't like us. If we go there, we could get in trouble." Daeun shook her head. "Velian technology is worth a fortune. One good salvage like this could pay for a year of supplies. Maybe 2 years," Tae-sung understood. Their ship, the Wandering Star, was old and always breaking down. They needed money badly, but Hyunwoo was right to be scared. The Velians were a powerful alien race. They controlled a huge part of the galaxy, and they thought humans were stupid and worthless. "I'll go check it out," Tae-sung said. "If it's too dangerous, we leave. Simple." Da-eun nodded. "Good. Suit up. We'll be there in 20 minutes. The Velian ship floated in space like a dead whale. It was huge and beautiful, even damaged. Tae-sung could see holes in the hull where something had attacked it. No lights, no power, just silence. "Life support is almost gone," Hyunwoo reported. "If anyone is alive in there, they won't be for long." Tae-sung put on his spacesuit and grabbed his tool bag. Daeun gave him a worried look. "Be careful. In and out, understand?" "Always am," Tae-sung lied. He was never careful. That was why he was good at his job. The inside of the Velian ship was cold and dark. Tae-sung turned on his helmet light and started walking. Bodies floated in the hallways. Velian crew members frozen and dead. He felt sad looking at them. They might have thought humans were inferior, but they didn't deserve this. He found the emergency stasis pods near the back of the ship. Most were empty or broken, but one still glowed with a faint blue light. Someone was inside. Tae-sung moved closer and looked through the frosted glass. He could see a figure inside, tall with blue skin and 4 arms, a Velian, and from the fancy armor and jewelry, an important one. "Daeun, I found a survivor," he said into his radio. "Looks like royalty or something." "They're in stasis. Can you wake them up?" Dan asked. Tae-sung examined the pod. His heart sank. "There's a problem. The armor is fused to the power core. If I just open the pod, the person inside will die. Can you fix it?" Tae-sung studied the connections. Velian technology was amazing but complicated. Their engineers designed everything to be perfect and precise. But Tae-sung wasn't a Velian engineer. He was a human who learned to fix things with whatever he had. "I can try," he said, "but it will take time, and I'll have to do it my way." "Do what you need to do," Da-eun said. "We'll keep watch." Tae-sung worked for 6 hours straight. His fingers were numb from the cold. His back hurt from bending over. But he didn't stop. He used his welding torch to carefully cut away the fused metal. He bypassed power circuits that Velian engineers would say were essential. He even used duct tape at one point, something that would make any alien laugh. But slowly, carefully, the armor came free from the pod. The person inside would live. "Opening the pod now," Tae-sung said. He pressed the release button. The glass lifted with a hiss of cold air. The figure inside opened her eyes. They were silver like mirrors, and they stared at Tae-sung with confusion. Where am I?" she asked in perfect English. All educated Velians learned human languages, even if they hated speaking them. "You're safe," Tae-sung said. "Your ship was attacked. We found you." She sat up slowly, her 4 arms moving to steady herself. Then she looked at Tae-sung more carefully. At his patched spacesuit, at his old tools, at his human face. "A human?" She sounded disgusted. "A human saved me?" "Yeah, I know," Tae-sung said, trying not to feel insulted. "Disappointing, right? But you're alive, so maybe try to be grateful." She stared at him for a long moment. Then she looked down at her armor. She touched the welding marks, the improvised repairs, the places where Tae-sung had used human methods to save her life. "This is crude," she said. "These repairs are barbaric. No Velian engineer would work like this." "No Velian engineer was here," Tae-sung said. He was getting angry now. "I was. And you're breathing because of it." She looked at him again. Something changed in her eyes. Maybe respect. Maybe just surprise. "What is your name, human?" she asked Tae-sung. "And you are?" "I am Princess Lyra, 3rd heir to the Velian throne." She said it like she expected him to bow. Tae-sung just nodded. "Nice to meet you, Princess. Now let's get you to our ship. This one is dying." He helped her stand. She was taller than him by a full head. Her armor was beautiful, even damaged. covered in patterns that seemed to glow. As they walked through the dead ship, she kept looking at him. Tae-sung could feel her eyes on his back. She was probably wondering how a stupid human had managed to save her when her own people couldn't. Back on the wandering star, Taeyun's eyes went wide when she saw who Tae-sung brought back. A Velian princess? She whispered. This is either the best thing or the worst thing that ever happened to us. Maybe both, Tae-sung said. Princess Lyra stood in their small cargo bay, looking around with barely hidden disgust. Everything about the wandering star was old, patched and held together with hope. Compared to Velian ships, it must have looked like garbage. I need to contact my people, Lyra said. Take me to the nearest Velian station immediately. Da-Yun and Tae-sung exchanged looks. Going to Velian space with a human crew was dangerous. They could be arrested or worse. We'll figure something out, Da-Un said carefully. But first, let's make sure you're okay. Tae-sung, show the princess to the spare cabin. As Tae-sung led Lyra through the narrow corridors, she had to duck to avoid hitting her head. Everything was too small for her. Made for humans, not tall, elegant Velians. Thank you, Lyra said suddenly, for saving my life. Even if your methods were unusual, Tae-sung smiled. You're welcome. Get some rest. Things will look better after you sleep. But as he walked away, Tae-sung wondered if that was true. They had a Velian princess on their ship. That was going to bring trouble. Big trouble, he just didn't know how much yet. Princess Lyra woke up screaming. Tae-sung ran to her cabin and found her on the floor, gasping for air. Her blue skin was turning pale. What's wrong? He asked, kneeling beside her. My armor, she gasped. It's damaged. I need it to regulate my body. Without it working properly, I will die slowly. Jiwoo, their medic, pushed past Tae-sung. She scanned Lyra with her medical device. Her body chemistry is all wrong. She's right. The armor does something to keep her healthy, like a life support system. Tae-sung looked at the damaged armor lying in the corner. I can fix it. Give me time. Lyra grabbed his arm with two of her hands. Her grip was strong, almost painful. No, I will not let a human touch my armor again. Take me to a Velian repair facility. Only they can fix it properly. Da-Un entered the cabin. We can't do that, princess. We're in disputed space. If we go to Velian territory, they'll arrest us. Maybe worse. Then I will die here, Lyra said bitterly. Saved by humans only to be killed by human cowardice. It's not cowardice, Tae-sung said, pulling his arm free. It's survival. But I can help you. I already saved your life once, remember? You got lucky, Lyra said. True repair requires skill, not luck. Before Tae-sung could respond, alarms blared throughout the ship. Hyunwoo's voice came over the speakers. Captain, we have a ship following us. It's not responding to hails. Da-Un ran to the bridge. Tae-sung followed, leaving Jiwoo with Lyra. On the main screen, a dark ship was gaining on them. It looked mean and dangerous, covered in weapons. Pirates, Da-Un said. They probably tracked us from the Valian wreck. Hyunwoo, can we outrun them? Not with our engines, Hyunwoo said. They're faster. Da-Un turned to Tae-sung. The Velian ship's armor had weapon systems, right? If we could get those working. The armor is dying, Tae-sung interrupted. And Lyra won't let me touch it. Then convince her, Da-Un said. Because if those pirates catch us, we're all dead. Including the princess. Tae-sung ran back to the cabin. Lyra was sitting up now, looking weak but determined. Pirates are coming, Tae-sung said. Your armor has weapons. If I can fix it enough to work, you can help us fight them off. And if you fail? Lyra asked. Then we all die together. Very democratic. Lyra actually smiled a little at that. You have a strange sense of humor for someone facing death. It's a human thing, Tae-sung said. So what do you say? Let me try? Lyra was quiet for a long moment. Then she nodded. But I will watch everything you do. If you damage it further, I will throw you into space myself. Fair enough. Tae-sung brought the armor to the cargo bay where he had more room to work. Lyra followed, moving slowly. She sat on a crate and watched as he laid out his tools. Velian armor is alive, she said. It grows with us from childhood. It bonds to our biology. You cannot treat it like a machine. I know, Tae-sung said, studying the armor. I could tell when I was freeing you from the pod. It's more like a plant or an animal than metal. Lyra looked surprised. Most humans don't understand that. Most humans don't spend their whole lives fixing things, Tae-sung said. He touched the armor gently. It was warm under his fingers and he could feel a faint vibration, like a heartbeat. He started talking to the armor as he worked, telling it what he was doing, explaining each step. Lyra watched him with fascination. "You're talking to it," she said. "Why not? You said it's alive, but it cannot understand you." "Maybe not my words," Taesung said, "but it can feel my intentions. Everything alive responds to kindness." He used organic compounds from the ship's garden to seal cracks. He applied gentle heat to reshape bent pieces. He worked with his hands as much as his tools, feeling the armor's response to each touch. Lyra stood up and came closer. "That technique? Where did you learn it?" "My grandmother taught me," Taesung said. "She used to fix old machines back on Earth. She always said the best tools are your hands and your heart." "Your grandmother was wise." Another alarm. Hyunwoo's voice again. "They're getting closer. 5 minutes until they're in weapon range. I need you to put on the armor," Taesung said. "I can't finish the repairs unless it's connected to you." Lyra hesitated. Then she began removing her simple clothes. Taesung turned away to give her privacy. He heard the sound of the armor attaching to her body, the biological locks clicking into place. "It's on," she said. Taesung turned back. Lyra looked like a warrior goddess now, tall and powerful in her gleaming armor. But he could see the damaged sections, the places where power wasn't flowing correctly. "Hold still," he said. "This might hurt." He worked quickly, reconnecting circuits and repairing biolinks while Lyra wore the armor. She flinched a few times but didn't complain. The ship suddenly shook. "An explosion somewhere close. They're firing at us," Daeun's voice shouted. "I'm taking evasive action, but I don't know how long I can keep this up." "Almost done," Taesung muttered. His hands were steady even though his heart was racing. Another explosion. The cargo bay tilted. Taesung lost his balance and fell backward. Lyra caught him with two of her arms, pulling him close against her armored chest. Debris fell around them, but she shielded him with her body. Their eyes met. This close, Taesung could see that her silver eyes had flecks of blue in them. "Beautiful and strange. Do not fear, human," Lyra said softly. "I will protect you." "Taesung," he said. "My name is Taesung." "Taesung," she repeated. Then she smiled. "Thank you for trying to save me again." "The armor," Taesung said, suddenly remembering. "Did the repairs hold?" Lyra checked her systems. Her eyes went wide. "Yes, not perfect, but functional. The weapons are online." "Then let's go stop those pirates." They ran to the airlock together, Lyra's armor weapons charged with a high-pitched whine. Through the window, Taesung could see the pirate ship getting closer. "When I open this door," Lyra said, "the vacuum will try to pull you out. Stay behind me. I know how airlocks work, just making sure. You humans are fragile." She opened the outer door. The force of escaping air pushed at them, but Lyra stood firm. She raised all four arms, each one holding a different weapon that had extended from her armor. She fired. Energy beams lanced across space, hitting the pirate ship's engines. Explosions bloomed in the darkness. The pirate ship tried to return fire, but Lyra was faster, more accurate. She had trained for this her whole life. But then her armor started sparking. Red warnings flashed across her helmet. "It's overheating," she shouted. "The repairs can't handle full power." "Hold on!" Taesung grabbed his welding torch and ran forward. He knew this was insane. He was in an open airlock with nothing but a thin safety line, working on armor in the middle of a battle. But he didn't think. He just moved. He welded emergency patches onto the armor while Lyra kept fighting. She never stopped firing, trusting him to keep her alive. They worked together like they had done this 1,000 times before. The pirate ship finally turned and fled. Its engines were damaged, trailing smoke and sparks. Lyra closed the airlock. They both collapsed on the floor, breathing hard. "That was insane," Lyra said. "Yeah," Taesung agreed. "No valiant engineer would ever do what you just did." "Is that a compliment?" Lyra looked at him. Really looked at him. "Yes, Taesung. I believe it is." The celebration didn't last long. 2 hours after they drove off the first pirate ship, 3 more appeared on their sensors. They called for backup. Hyunwoo said, his voice shaking. "Captain, these ships are bigger, better armed. We can't fight them all." Daeun studied the tactical display. "We're near the Kelvin asteroid field. If we can get inside, maybe we can lose them." "That's suicide," Hyunwoo said. "Those asteroids move too fast. We'll be crushed." We'll be killed for sure if we stay here, Daewon shot back. Taesung, how's the princess's armor holding up? Taesung looked at Lyra. She stood on the bridge now, her armor still sparking occasionally. It's at maybe 60%. The repairs are holding, but barely. 60% will have to be enough, Daewon said. She grabbed the controls. Everyone hold on. This is going to be rough. The wandering star dove into the asteroid field. Huge rocks tumbled past them, some as big as houses. Daewon flew like a madwoman, twisting and turning between the asteroids. The pirate ships followed, firing as they came. An explosion rocked the ship. Sparks flew from a control panel. Hyunwoo screamed and fell backward, clutching his arm. Blood seeped between his fingers. Jiwoo, Daewon yelled. Get to the bridge. Hyunwoo is hurt. Taesung ran to help his friend, but Lyra moved faster. She knelt beside Hyunwoo and carefully examined his wound with two of her hands while the other two steadied him. The bone is broken, she said. But he will live. Jiwoo must set it quickly. Jiwoo arrived and immediately started treating Hyunwoo. Taeyeon kept flying, sweat dripping down her face. More explosions. The ship groaned and shuddered. We can't take much more of this. Daewon shouted. Lyra stood up. I will go to the cargo bay. I can fire at them from there. Your armor is already damaged, Taesung said. If you push it harder, it might fail completely. Then you will repair it again, Lyra said simply. That is what you do, isn't it? Fix impossible things? Before Taesung could argue, she was gone, running toward the cargo bay. Taesung grabbed his tools and followed. When he got there, Lyra had already opened the cargo bay door. The force field held the air in but let weapons fire pass through. She stood at the edge, firing at the pursuing ships. Your armor, Taesung shouted over the noise. The left shoulder joint is failing. I know. Lyra fired again. One of the pirate ships exploded. I can feel it. Taesung did something crazy. He ran to her side and started repairing the armor while she wore it. While she fought. His hands moved automatically, welding and patching even as energy beams flew past his head. What are you doing? Lyra demanded. My job. Keep shooting. They fell into a rhythm. Lyra would fire, Taesung would repair. When one section of armor started failing, he would fix it. When she needed more power to her weapons, he would reroute circuits. Why? Lyra asked suddenly. Why do you risk your life for me? Your people and mine are not friends. Taesung didn't stop working. Because you're a person. Because it's the right thing to do. Because, he paused. Because you're not what I expected. What did you expect? A cold, arrogant alien who thinks humans are trash. Lyra fired at another ship. And now? Now I see someone brave. Someone who fights to protect my friends. Someone who's trying hard not to show she's scared. Lyra was quiet for a moment. Then she laughed. It was a beautiful sound. You see too much, Taesung. The ship lurched. A huge asteroid was coming right at them. Daewon spun the ship hard to the left and Taesung lost his footing. He slid toward the open cargo bay door, toward the void of space. Lyra dropped her weapons and grabbed him with all four arms. She pulled him back, holding him tight against her armor. I have you, she said. I will not let you fall. They stayed like that for a heartbeat. Then two. Taesung could hear her breathing inside the helmet. Fast, like his own. Thank you, he whispered. We are even now, Lyra said. You have saved me. I have saved you. But she didn't let go right away, and neither did he. Another explosion brought them back to reality. One of the pirate ships was badly damaged, but two more were still chasing them. Lyra, Taesung said, I need you to trust me completely. I have an idea, but it's dangerous. Your ideas are always dangerous, she said. Tell me. I can overcharge your armor's weapons, give you enough power for one huge blast, but it will burn out the systems. You'll only get one shot. And if I miss, we die, Lyra nodded. Do it. Taesung worked faster than he ever had before. He bypassed every safety system, redirected all power to the weapons. The armor started glowing, getting hotter and hotter. Lyra, you need to fire now. The armor can't hold this much power. Lyra aimed carefully. The two pirate ships were flying close together, trying to box them in. She waited. Lyra? She fired. The energy beam was massive, brighter than a sun. It hit the first pirate ship and went straight through it, hitting the second ship behind it. Both ships exploded in balls of fire, but the recoil threw Lyra backward. Her armor sparked and smoked. She collapsed on the cargo bay floor. Lyra! Taesung ran to her. He ripped off her helmet. Her face was pale, her silver eyes unfocused. Did I get them? She asked weakly. Both of them. You were amazing, she smiled. Good, your crazy plans work, Taesung. I am beginning to understand why humans survive. What do you mean? You should not survive, she said, her voice getting stronger. You have no claws, no armor, no natural weapons. You are weak compared to most species. But you refuse to give up. You find ways to win when you should lose. You fix things that cannot be fixed. You are remarkable. Taesung felt his face get hot. You're not so bad yourself, princess. Daeun's voice came over the speakers. We're clear. The asteroids are blocking any pursuit. We're heading for Nova Station. Everyone okay back there? We're fine, Taesung called back. Then quieter to Lyra. Can you stand? With help, he supported her as she got to her feet. The armor was nearly dead now, barely functional. But they had survived. I must tell you something, Lyra said.
About why I was fleeing on that ship. You don't have to. I want to, she interrupted.
I was running from an arranged marriage. My family wants me to marry a prince from another Valian house, to create political alliance. I said yes because it is my duty. But then I had second thoughts. I tried to run away. And now I am here with a damaged armor on a human ship, having been saved by someone my people consider inferior. She looked at Taesung. Perhaps the universe is trying to teach me something. Like what? That I have been wrong about many things, especially about humans. They stood there in the cargo bay, surrounded by the aftermath of battle. Outside asteroids drifted past like silent witnesses. Come on, Taesung said. Let's get you to medical. Jiwoo should check you over. As they walked through the corridors, Lyra spoke again. Taesung, when we reach Nova Station, what will happen to me? I don't know, he admitted. But we'll figure it out together, Lyra nodded. Together. I like that word. Nova Station hung in space like a giant wheel, spinning slowly. Thousands of ships came and went from its docking bays. It was neutral territory, where all species could trade and meet safely. I've never seen so many different aliens in one place, Taesung said, staring out the window. Daeun guided the wandering star into a docking bay. Nova Station is special. No one fights here. It's the one place in the galaxy where everyone agrees to get along. How long will repairs take? Lyra asked. She had barely left Taesung's side since the battle. 2 days, maybe 3, Daeun said. The ship took a beating. And it's not cheap. I will pay for it, Lyra said. You saved my life. It is only fair. Princess, you're kind, but we don't even know if you can access your money here. Lyra smiled. I am Velian royalty. There are ways. A man in an expensive suit was waiting for them at the docking bay. He bowed politely. Captain Daeun? I am Ambassador Kwon. I represent human interests on Nova Station. May I speak with you privately? Daeun glanced at Taesung. Whatever you have to say, you can say in front of my crew. Kwon looked at Lyra. Including the Velian princess whose disappearance has the entire galaxy searching for her? Everyone froze. You know who I am, Lyra said carefully. Everyone knows by now, Your Highness, Kwon said. The Velian Empire has ships searching every sector. There are bounty hunters looking for you. And there are rewards, very large rewards. Are you going to turn her in? Taesung asked, stepping between Kwon and Lyra. Kwon raised his hands. Please, I'm not a bounty hunter. I'm a diplomat. But I have a proposal, one that could benefit everyone. They met in a private room on the station. Kwon laid out his idea. The Velian Empire says you were kidnapped by pirates, he explained to Lyra. They don't know humans rescued you. If you tell the truth, if you testify that humans saved your life, it could change everything. Change what? Daeun asked. Humanity's status in the Galactic Coalition, Kwon said. Right now we're considered a lesser species. We get the worst trade deals, the least respect. But if a Velian princess publicly credits humans with saving her life, we gain credibility, respect, power. You want to use me, Lyra said. It wasn't a question. I want to help you while helping humanity, Kwon said. Isn't that fair? Lyra stood and walked to the window. Below, the station's market district sprawled out, full of aliens from 100 different worlds. If I do this, she said slowly, I will have to return to my people, face my family, the marriage I ran from. Is that marriage why you left? Kwon asked gently, partially. Lyra turned to face them. I am to marry Prince Theron of House Velkar. It is a political arrangement. Our houses have feuded for generations. This marriage is supposed to end the conflict. Do you love him? Taesung asked. He didn't know why he asked. He just needed to know. I have never met him, Lyra said. She looked at Taesung.
How can I love someone I have never met?
There was something in her eyes, something that made Taesung's heart beat faster. You don't have to decide now, Kwan said. The station is safe. Take a few days. Think about it. After Kwan left, Daun pulled Taesung aside. You like her. What? No, don't lie to me. I've known you your whole life. You look at her the way your father looked at your mother. Taesung sighed. It doesn't matter. She's a princess. I'm just a mechanic. From a species she was taught to look down on. She doesn't look down on you now, Daun said. I've seen how she watches you. Like you're the most interesting person in the galaxy. Even if that's true, she has to go back. She has responsibilities. Maybe, Daun said. Or maybe she gets to choose her own path. Either way, you should spend time with her. Before she leaves. Taesung found Lyra in the market district. She was standing in front of a food stall staring at the strange human foods with curiosity. Want to try something? Taesung asked. Lyra jumped. You startled me. Is this normal human food? Some of it. That's tteokbokki, rice cakes and spicy sauce. My grandmother used to make it. It looks red. It's good, trust me. They bought some and found a quiet spot to sit. Lyra tried a piece carefully. Her eyes went wide. It burns, she said, but she took another bite. But it's also interesting, complex, like it's fighting itself in my mouth. Taesung laughed. That's the spice. You get used to it. They spent the afternoon exploring the station together. Lyra tried human music and called it chaotic but energetic. She watched human children play and seemed fascinated by how rough and loud they were. She even tried dancing, which was hilarious because she had 4 arms and no sense of rhythm. Your culture is so different from mine, she said as they sat on an observation deck watching ships come and go. Velians value order, precision, perfection. But humans, you embrace chaos. You find beauty in messiness. Is that bad? Taesung asked. No, Lyra said. It's refreshing. My whole life I have been told exactly what to do, how to act, who to be. There is no room for mistakes, no room for spontaneity. Is that why you ran? Lyra was quiet for a long time. Yes, I felt like I was suffocating. The marriage was just the final thing. I wanted to choose something for myself just once. And what do you choose now? She looked at him. I do not know yet. What do you choose, Taesung? What do you mean? When this is over, what will you do? Keep salvaging? Keep fixing things? Probably, Taesung said. It's what I'm good at. You are good at many things, Lyra said softly. You are brave, creative, kind. You see possibilities where others see only problems. They were sitting close now. Taesung could see the patterns in her skin like tiny constellations. She was beautiful, but it was more than that. She was smart and funny and strong. She challenged him, made him want to be better. Lyra, he started. Do not, she said, but gently. Do not say what I think you are going to say. Because I feel it too, and that makes everything more complicated. What if complicated is okay? She smiled sadly. You are human. I am Velian. I am royalty. You fix ships. Our worlds are different, Taesung finished. I know. But maybe different is good. Lyra reached out with one hand and touched his face. Her skin was warm and smooth. Your people are taught that you are lesser, that you are weak and primitive. But you saved me when you had no reason to. You fixed what our best engineers said was impossible. You fought beside me without hesitation. Tell me, Taesung, which of us is truly more advanced? I think we're just different, Taesung said. Not better or worse. Just different. That is a very wise answer. They sat in silence, watching the stars. Then Lyra stood up suddenly. I need to tell you something, she said. Something I just learned from a message. What? The marriage. It is more important than I realized. If I refuse, if I do not return, 2 Velian houses will go to war. Thousands will die, maybe millions. Taesung felt his heart sink. So you have to go back. I have to go back, she confirmed. I have no choice. But before Taesung could respond, alarms started blaring throughout the station. Red emergency lights flashed. A voice came over the speakers. Attention. This is station security. We have multiple Velian warships approaching. They are demanding the return of Princess Lyra. All citizens remain calm. Lyra and Taesung ran back to the ship. Daeun and the crew were already there with Ambassador Kwan. They found you, Kwan said. Probably tracked some signal from your armor. They'll be here in an hour. What do we do? Dayun asked. Lyra stood tall. I will go to them. But first I have conditions. The Velian diplomatic ship docked at Nova Station like a giant silver bird landing on a branch. It was beautiful and intimidating, 10 times bigger than the Wandering Star. Soldiers in gleaming armor lined up at the airlock. Tae-sung stood with his crew, watching them arrive. His stomach felt tight. This was it. Lyra would leave and he would never see her again. Remember the plan, Ambassador Kwan whispered. Let Lyra do the talking. We're just here to support her story. A tall Velian man stepped forward. He wore armor even more elaborate than Lyra's, covered in gold and jewels. Behind him stood an older Velian woman in elegant robes. Princess Lyra, the man said. I am Prince Theron, your betrothed. We have been searching everywhere for you. I know, Lyra said. She stood straight and proud, every inch a princess, and I am sorry for the trouble I caused. The older woman stepped forward. I am High Chancellor Mira. Princess Lyra, your family has been very worried. They will be glad to know you are safe, though they are less glad to learn you were on a human vessel. These humans saved my life, Lyra said firmly. When my ship was attacked, I would have died if not for them. A fortunate accident, Chancellor Mira said dismissively. We are grateful, of course. We will compensate them for their trouble. It was not an accident, Lyra said. Her voice grew stronger. This human, Tae-sung, freed me from a stasis pod that was fused to failing systems. He repaired my armor using techniques no Velian engineer would attempt. He fought beside me against pirates. He saved my life multiple times, asking nothing in return. Prince Theron looked at Tae-sung with interest. Is this true, human? I just did what anyone would do, Tae-sung said. No, Theron said. Most would not risk themselves for a stranger. Especially not for a Velian. Our people have not treated yours well. Chancellor Mira looked annoyed. Your Highness, we should take Princess Lyra home now. These matters can be discussed later. No, Lyra said. They will be discussed now. I have conditions. Conditions? Mira said sharply. You are in no position to make demands, Princess. I am in every position, Lyra said. I am third heir to the throne. I am a war hero who has fought in 12 battles. And I am the person you need to prevent a civil war. So you will listen to my conditions. Prince Theron smiled. I like her spirit. Very well, Princess. What are your conditions? Lyra gestured to Tae-sung and his crew. These humans and their ship will be pardoned for any supposed crimes. They will receive a reward for rescuing me, and safe passage through all Velian space. Agreed, Theron said immediately. Second, humanity's status in the Galactic Coalition must be elevated. They are not a lesser species. They are resourceful, brave, and capable. They deserve respect and fair treatment. Chancellor Mira frowned. That is a more complex request. Such changes take time. Then start now, Lyra said. I will publicly testify to the Galactic Council about what these humans did for me. Let the galaxy hear the truth. And your third condition? Theron asked. I will return with you. I will honor the marriage agreement. But I want human engineers included in our technology exchange programs. They have techniques we can learn from, and we have knowledge we can share. Let our peoples work together. Tae-sung felt pride swell in his chest. Lyra was using her situation to help humanity. Even as she gave up her freedom, she was fighting for others. These conditions are acceptable, Theron said. He looked at Chancellor Mira. Wouldn't you agree? Mira sighed. Yes, Your Highness. The princess has chosen wisely. Good, Lyra said. Then I need 1 hour to say goodbye. Properly. Theron nodded. Take your time, Princess. We have waited this long. We can wait a bit longer. Lyra led Tae-sung back to the Wandering Star, to the cargo bay where he had repaired her armor so many times. They stood facing each other, neither knowing what to say. You did good, Tae-sung finally said. Those conditions will really help humanity. It is the least I can do, Lyra said. You gave me back my life. I want to give your people a better future. What about your future? Taesung asked. You're giving up everything. Not everything, Lyra said. I am preventing a war. That matters more than my personal desires. Does it? Taesung stepped closer. You deserve to be happy too. Happiness is a luxury, Lyra said, but her voice shook. I am Velian royalty. I have duties. You're also a person, Taesung said. A person who wants to choose her own path. You told me that. Lyra looked away. Meeting you changed me, Taesung. Before I could accept my fate because I did not know there was another way. But now I know what it feels like to be free. To laugh without thinking about appearances. To make choices. You showed me that. Then don't go back. I must. Too many lives depend on this marriage. Taesung wanted to argue more, but he knew she was right. Sometimes doing the right thing meant sacrificing what you wanted. I have something for you, Lyra said. She removed one of her armor's gauntlets and held it out to him. This has been repaired using both Velian and human techniques. It is a symbol of what we created together, something neither of our peoples could make alone. Taesung took the gauntlet. It was heavy and warm, still alive with energy. I can't accept this. It's part of your armor. I want you to have it, Lyra said. So you remember that a Velian princess thought a human mechanic was the bravest, most creative person she ever met. Taesung felt tears in his eyes. He reached into his pocket and pulled out his welding torch, the same one he used to free her from the pod to repair her armor in battle. Then you take this, he said. So you remember that sometimes you have to break things down before you can build something better, and that sometimes the rough, imperfect solution is the right one. Lyra took the torch and held it like it was made of gold. I will treasure it. They stood there, not touching, both knowing this was goodbye. Theron seems like a good man, Taesung said, trying to make it easier. Maybe the marriage won't be so bad. Perhaps, Lyra said. He is honorable, kind. He will treat me well. But you don't love him. No, Lyra said quietly. I do not love him. She looked at Taesung, and he saw everything she felt in those silver eyes. All the things she couldn't say, all the possibilities they would never explore. In another life, she whispered. In a different universe where I was not a princess and you were not human, what would have happened between us? Everything, Taesung said. We would have had everything. Lyra smiled through tears. Yes, I believe we would have. She turned to leave, then stopped. Taesung, humans have a saying. What is it? About letting something go? If you love something, set it free? Taesung said. Yes, that one. She looked back at him. I am setting you free from any obligation to me. Go live your life. Fix your ships. Be happy. That is what I want for you. And I want the same for you. Taesung said. Even if it means you're with someone else. Lyra walked to the airlock. At the door, she paused one last time. Do you believe in destiny, Taesung? I don't know. Maybe. I think I do now, she said. I think we were meant to meet. Not to be together forever, but to change each other. To make each other better. That is its own kind of love story. Then she was gone. Taesung stood alone in the cargo bay, holding her gauntlet. Dayan found him there an hour later, still staring at the closed airlock. She's gone, Dayan said gently. I know. You okay? No, Taesung said honestly. But I will be. Eventually. Dayan put her arm around him. She did something amazing, you know. Because of her testimony, humanity's status is already changing. We're getting better trade agreements. More respect. It's a new beginning for our species. I'm glad, Taesung said. And he was. Even though his heart hurt. 5 years passed. Taesung became the lead engineer on a joint human-Velian project designing new armor. He worked with Velian engineers who, at first, didn't trust his methods, but slowly they learned. They combined Velian precision with human creativity, They made something better than either species could make alone. Sometimes he heard news about Princess Lyra. She had married Prince Theron. Together they ruled their house well, bringing peace and prosperity. She became known as a champion of interspecies cooperation. She pushed for reforms, for understanding, for breaking down old prejudices. Tae-sung kept the gauntlet in his workshop. He never wore it, but sometimes he would touch it and remember. One day a message arrived. It was from Lyra, brief but warm. I heard about the armor project. You are doing excellent work. Prince Theron and I are well. We have found a good partnership based on respect and shared goals. It is not what I once dreamed of, but it is good. I hope you are happy too. I think of you often, my friend. The welding torch sits in my private chambers. Some nights I hold it and remember when a human taught me that perfection is not as important as persistence. Thank you for everything. Stay safe, stay curious, and keep fixing impossible things. Tae-sung smiled as he read it. Then he wrote back, I am happy. The work is challenging and rewarding. Your people and mine are learning from each other. We are building something new together. I think of you often too. The gauntlet reminds me that some things cannot be fixed, only remembered with gratitude. Thank you for showing me that bravery comes in many forms. Keep changing the galaxy, Princess. And remember that sometimes the best solution is not the most elegant one, but the one that brings people together. He sent the message and returned to his work. Outside his workshop,